straight into it. $10,000 on the line. No clear leader right now, as first and second place are only separated by about 3 or 4 points as we drop into World's Edge.
My eyes are specifically on Renegades right now. I know that they're at that third place spot. The one that you mentioned isn't that far off the top, but remember in game one as well that they were the squad that took down NRG, that managed to actually eliminate such big players from the lobby. As we check in with them, having dropped all the way up here, right outside of Harvester, are going to have themselves a nice central area to be able to rotate to the zone that actually isn't that far off, just up in the north.
Yeah, this one is going to be pulling up to the northeast. We'll see if it maybe goes further over towards Refinery and such. But with this, I mean, we haven't seen any impetus coming up from Cloud9 or TSM for the early rotate, but they would have loved to seen it if they weren't dead set on killing each other. Right now, though, NRG will be looting things up. They have about another minute before they really have to start moving here. We'll see if they maybe just hang around. They might be able to catch stragglers on the rotate, and we do have a better look at where this ring is pulling. Overlook is definitely an idea. Maybe the train tracks in between Overlook and Epicenter for this zone, or this could continue to just pull northeast and pull towards the buildings just outside of Refinery or on that hill between Refinery and Epicenter.
I really like the Epicenter zones. I think that the amount of vertical gameplay that you get there can really throw a wrench in a lot of teams' plans, and at the moment, though we're not there, G2 hanging out in the southeast where the last ring closed, we're still looking for a lot of teams that like to lay down their claims early to find their spots. What I am really happy about as well is that C9 and TSM, knowing that the zone is on them, have played a little bit more passive. Might actually get some placement points this time around.
It's a minute 22. No knocks quite yet, and we'll check in on that in just a moment right now as G2 continue their looting path. This is a squad that does like to take their time, and of course, it's thermal, right? There's just so much ground to cover. There's so much to loot up, and you got the pings going down, the blue backpack as well, so they're going to want to get as much utility and as much equipment space as possible right now. As we do have CLG making their move. Lou's taking some damage here, and CLG are now just full sending it over to Epicenter. They got the first knock, tech to go down. Beautiful spray there out from Madness, but it's going to be Vax that picks that one up. And oh boy, usually you're not taking a re into a fight, but he definitely did and was able to take him out. So CLG looking to continue the momentum that they built up in game number 1 that did get slowed down in game number 2, but now they've established a position of power really over here for this zone.
Yeah, they are really feeling the alpha blood flowing through them, already taking those first couple kills. Haven't actually finished off the squad. Era still in the game, but definitely not by a long shot going to be putting up the high kill numbers that they would otherwise hope to. CLG also have the zone to play with and are just rotating around the outside right now, seeing if they can catch anyone else who is perhaps running on the side of Era, or just trying to find their way into the ring right now.
Madness spotting out a lot, does go down. Lazarus shows up with the G7 Scout, taking him out. Lou's next to fall as well, and they've bitten off a little bit more than they can chew, as it's going to be a 2-team affair here, and Vaxlon is going to be left to try and wrap this one out. We'll see if it recovers banners. I mean, there's a possibility with so many teams in the area, but things are not looking likely at all, as he has been spotted out, and PLG might be the first team to go down. Cloud9 show up though. Xset, we're one of the teams involved in taking out some of CLG. So there is an opportunity for Vax to try to come back in for this.
Yeah, this is a nice angle for him if he can go in undetected, since third parties do abound. Right now, C9 continuing to clean up some kills. Vaxlon gonna get the time to heal up on the Bloodhound. Doesn't have a whole lot of utility. Doesn't want to use the scan lest he give up his position. So essentially playing blind right now. It's gonna rub him the wrong way. Razor though making their own push into the epicenter. Do have a nice setup just around the side here, and the ability to scout, of course, with the crypto that they've got. Just going to use that jump pad a little bit aggressively, get themselves a nice holdable spot in here, maybe even aiming for the top of epicenter.
They got to be careful venturing further and further in, but they've got the pings down to try and maybe push all the way to the northeast here. They do have a squad that is inside epicenter proper on top of that tower now, going for that drop. And so Razor just gonna have to watch on as they pick up whatever goodies come out from that natty drop. But Team Razor are looking pretty good. They've got the gold armor themselves. They got the blues for Zera, Tricky, and Mr. Hakulo. Tech, once he gets those EMPs, should be able to farm up some free armor damage for his squad. I mean, he knows that there's a full 3-man up there on that tower, so if he wants, he can just continue to spam that. Here's 303 making the rotate now up to the northern side of this zone, rotating through, make their way on over to Refinery and hold this hill. This is honestly the hill that I wanted to see CLG holding before they decided to full send it onto more squads and basically going down. But it looks like 303 will be patient with this position and just hold it for now.
And that's the right move here, especially as they are under fire. Don't want to push up into a zone where you could very well be third party. That's what I'm expecting to happen around the epicenter zone that we were there at just earlier. 303 also in a really nice spot to try and contest the center there, and though they don't have a crypto themselves, there is one eyeing up the squad that could be softened in the center. Stick's going to join up the squad only on the white shields here, makes it with no damage to himself, actually potentially picking up a nice little gift from his friend there on the Octane. Is going to have a lot more safety now.
Yeah, I mean, you got Escape on that Gibraltar, giving him the G7 scouts. He'll have that arm shield for the favorable trades to try to get that white Evo shield up. And so that's just basics coming out from 303 here to get them back in. NRG getting into a fight with Team Liquid right now. They've already gotten 2 knocks throughout all of this, as it looks like Era do get finished off. Zach Mazer finds Stunny and takes him out. 303 just holding the northern side, and Team Liquid do get knocked out. We're already down to 17 squads. A very, very aggressive early game so far. And surprisingly enough, of course, TSM not full sending it into C9 as well. And we get to see what C9 get to do when they make it out of the early game.
I tell you what, Jamerson, though, I do really like seeing when Zach Mazer shows up in the kill feed, because he is such an aggressive player, because he does like to test his limits. When he's on the left side of those kills, it means that he's actually feeling it today, able to get his team a few more of those points. And if he's the one, the IGL, that is able to actually push the pace and do it successfully, C9 can sort of start snowballing that momentum into great zone spots like NRG had last time, and potentially into wins. Doesn't look like Space Station Gaming going to be able to do that, though, because they are being focused down right now in a little bit of a firefight. TSM thinking about picking up some kills themselves.
Looks like TSM, they just held position over here at Fragment East, and everyone's giving it a wide berth except for SSG. Throughout all of that, though, it looks like Team Intel are in dire straits. They might have been knocked out. It was hard to tell. But we're already down to 17 squads, and so I believe they're still alive then at this point. But right now, TSM just holding here at Frag East, as we'll have a better idea of where this ring is going to pull in just a moment. Don't know if they've got a beacon here. It doesn't look like it, unfortunately, for them. And so they're just going to wait this one out and see if it does pull down into Frag East. We'll find out in just a moment. Here's G2, though, finally making it out now, moving their way all the way up to the north side, up to Skyhook. With the wide wrap, they're looking for those isolated fights on the edge. This is a squad that does love the team fighting in the early and the mid game. Do not like playing for the very slow play style. And so they're going to try and full send it. Designful has to be careful as Gentrifying is setting up the flank, but Designful with the one-man army might be able to get the knock himself. Is forced to fall back, and oh no. NRG on the other side of this one. He needed the backup of Gentrifying, who just showed up a little bit too late here with the PK. Now he is watching his team getting finished off. We'll try and back away, but he gets finished off. NRG picked this one up, and now they are poised to take the lead away, or should have at this point, with the 6 KP that they have from CLG.
That is a great spot to be in, and it's off the back of G2 really just not being synced up on the push there. You mentioned the late rotate. It cost them a lot more than that. It cost them positional points as well. Although Space Station Gaming, they might be taken down at the same time. Zenile already falling, and that's going to be a clean wipe from TSM, who also pick up a lot of KP, although they lose reps in the process.
Here's the third party coming up from Team Timmy, though, and we saw this happen to TSM in game number 1, winning out the fight, losing out on one, and the third party's coming in. Team Timmy, though, looks like they do have 2 KP to their name, and so Team Intel might still be in this, but TSM on the verge of getting knocked out again. Snipe down does get finished off, but here comes the 4th party now as Flashpoint Lonely Fans show up. The prize going down, so Team Timmy down to a duo here. They do have the Beast Hunt running. We'll have another scan in just a moment, but then they'll just thirst, and it's very unfortunate. It's hard to tell how much or what that knockdown shield is. You saw Kupski putting in a good, 200, 300 damage into that knock shield. They do clean that up, and we'll pick up all the loot here, but they do not finish off the teams. We'll see. Kupski does have another scan. Throw that down. Maybe they go and hunting for the rest of this squad.
I was worried about even the 5th party right there, as it seems like that is the hot spot right on the edge of zone in the south. Lonely Fans going to be the ultimate victors. They are able to loot up on all the boxes, while NRG are fighting for territory of their own just on the outskirts of Epicenter right now, where we saw 303 before. Ooh. Already the kill leader makes himself another. Does Nathan with the laser down onto 303.
Oh, NRG are feeling themselves, and at this point, it's just who can stop them. TSM are still alive throughout all of this, getting a knock onto 00 negative. We'll throw down that jump pad, just in case they wanted to back away from this one. So TSM, they're still in this, and they're still scrapping back and forth, and they will always be a threat. 00 negative will get rezzed up, and he will be able to heal. The scan comes out from Kupski, and that stops the flank right now. We're down to 14 squads as we enter into round number 3.
It gives you the opportunity to try and play this a little cheekily now that you have that 3-man back up again. I'm looking at the kill feed. We only have TSM with the rat right now. Imperial Hal trying his best to survive. Could be getting pushed as we don't actually know where he's at on the map. But Lonely Fans, they're going to take this building, take a little bit of temporary safety for themselves to plan their next moves, as certainly the next ring, a little bit of a mystery to us all, will reveal itself in just a few short minutes.
Lonely Fans hold up inside this building. They've got neighbors, plenty of them as well, to their north and to their east right now. Cheeky Pete coming out from that Gibraltar, but 00 negative is going to hold it himself with that Spitfire. He's got the purple mag, so he could just lay down fire for days. The scan comes out, and they scan up too. That should be quite possibly it's Timmy. On the other side, with Nicewig, I believe. A prize was the one that went down on their squad. And there you go. You can see it. There's a team to their east. It's going to be Renegades over there, over at the no-name side. And so with how crowded it is here, it's going to be nearly impossible for Imperial Hal to try to get the res for his squad. You can see plenty of teams now starting to rotate into Frag East. Here's Lonely Fans backing away, spotting all the loot back here. They're going to want this into the late game.
Yeah, you get yourself a lot of utility here, a lot of heals and shields, ideally, to be able to sustain up. Lonely Fans, actually, I've really liked the way that they've been moving around recently, taking one building, another, clearing it out, and now that movement is really going to be tested. Jump pad should still be down for the escape from 01, and he manages to get it right into the safety of his squad. To be able to heal, prepare for that next push, and that's the power of being so mobile. Speaking of mobile, Asura definitely using his wisely to get out of dodge right before he goes down.
Now we do have, it looks like a full 3v3. A lot of teams have already made their move out, and so this might be an isolated fight out for the Knights. You can see Bronzy holding the angle with that scout, but he's taking so much damage. Does back off, and this fight is no longer favorable for them. Zone will start closing in, and they need to find a spot in this ring, as they're still getting tagged up from behind as they completely back away from that fight. But we'll see if they try to turn around for it. They do have the Beast of the Hunt if they want to. They'll have the additional information to see if it is an isolated fight, but Bronzy clears the back to the south, and now they're going to try and play gatekeeper up against the squad as the zone starts closing in. Instead, they elect to just go ahead and avoid this fight and jump across the valley here. They will be holding the high ground just outside of Fragment East, being tagged from every angle. I'm glad to see that the action has slowed down a little bit here as we enter into round number 4.
In this fourth round, positioning is so important. And I don't mean your positioning in terms of the squads, but just where you literally are on the map in relation to where the ring is closing. And though the Knights have a little bit of a tight angle here under a lot of fire, they get to lay it down from the high ground themselves. Taken a little bit of pressure, certainly paying off for them in the damage numbers. LeBronzi finds out that there's another squad even peeking them from below, and the Knights are going to be forced to back off one more time, giving up more ground, but moving themselves into what looks to be the next circle.
Yeah, and so they'll have this spot just outside of No Name in the card just to the north of it. But I like having that high ground heading into round number 5. I'm going to go ahead and give that one up. This will be relatively safe, of course. Just a lot of teams don't like to grief this card. They don't like to push this one because you can easily get third-partied. Now, this might secure them a top 5, but I would have loved to have seen them hold a more aggressive position up on the northern side instead of just giving that one up away for free. We do have Cloud9 in a fight here on the northeast side, and this is a fight that the Knights could have been involved in. It does look like they were able to finish off Serial and Kotagami. I think I saw Greek God going down earlier, and so that should be the full squad wipe, I believe. We are now down to 10 squads here. Cloud9 with some great team fire onto whomever that was above. They do have to, of course, contend with the ring now to their back with 25 seconds left to go. And then make a move here. We'll see if they have a jump pad for this rotation. They can try and just bully the squad out, and just the mere threat of the G7 scout is doing enough to force that squad back.
Yeah, this is really nice play from C9. They're doing exactly what we just saw done at the Pittsburgh Knights. Just the pressure alone from being on that high ground, from not having a safe angle any which direction, is going to make the job for C9 a lot easier, but they're still under fire from around the hill, and they've already gotten their Gibraltar knocked as well, quite literally. Stay Naughty going to heal up at the bottom here, trying to hold behind cover. Might be able to get the res off for now, but that ring is closing in. It's a ticking time bomb for C9.
And it's Team Razor that are holding this high ground here. No one punishing Cloud9 though, and so you should be able to get that res, get him back up, and so Cloud9 are going to be happy with that at the very least, being able to recover for now. But here's Team Pop-Tarts trying to find more here. They try to go for the full send, but now they're getting punished. We'll see if they can finish off Cloud9, and they do! Clutch up coming out from Impulsive Dream. Cloud9 knocked out in the top 8, but now they have to recover themselves. Farmer Lucas was still bleeding out on the ground. A little bit of a pressure being applied from someone just to their south, but they do survive for the time being. NRG now are just getting full-on pressured and will get taken out, and somehow Team Razor just completely wiped them with almost no resistance coming out from NRG, who were just firing on all cylinders a moment before.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like NRG expected anybody to really be able to contest them there, but the laser was enough. Now, with this really nice high ground, with almost actually being in the zone right now, they're going to be able to hold this spot, be able to lay down so much hurt on the squads, pick up more kills, potentially move themselves up pretty high in the standings. Burning a little bit of utility now is Hakulo. Actually finds some damage as well, so they know very well the kills await.
They're worried, though, about that card, and rightly so. They're going to keep an eye on that. I believe that we saw the Pittsburgh Knights backing away into that one, and it looks like they are still in there for the time being. This high ground is in for the circle as well. Not much cover, but they are still in with a great vantage point. They have all of NRG's loot back here as well to work with, and so we'll see. That mobile respawn beacon has been thrown down. Don't know if it's actually to try to get someone back into the game or just utilized as some cover. You can see now they're starting to set up for that late game, trying to get the closer scopes and everything as Lonely Fans find themselves in a fight up against Team Timmy. Nice wig to go down. Timmy, the only one up here as he does get finished off. And so now we are down to 5 squads remaining. Renegades making it into the late game once again as they are starting to apply some pressure on the western side, make this rotate in a little bit easier for themselves, walking in with the zone right now, keeping an eye on that head glitch as well as is kind of separated here. So there's an opportunity now as Team Razor go for the EMP, pushing on in. EMP just a little early here as they do trade Impulsive Dream, taking out Zero Tricky for Rakinishu down to a 2v2, but Tech has no armor. He'll fall. Farmer Lucas picking that one up now as Renegades come in for the third party. You know, in a fight of their own on the southern side, they will be able to pick up those kills onto Pittsburgh Knights, but
Renegades
they're getting pressured now on the other side. Lonely Fans coming in for the third party. The armor swaps, where is it there for them? Kupski takes a lot of damage, and that alleviates a lot of pressure onto them. As Lonely Fans try to go for the reset now, we're down to our final 3 squads in the final circle.
The Knights are doing this as well, so we've got a lot to work with. Impulsive Dream there on the side going to be spotted. As now with Team Pop-Tarts on the side, it's going to be Lonely Fans, maybe a little bit hesitant to push in, gonna have to back off behind the cover that they find, but they're being pinched down by the farmers. It is a risky position here, and all around the side comes Impulsive Dream and Rakanishu looking for the kills. Renegades need to be ready to take this fight.
Now Renegades do get the first knock, but Impulsive Dream will find the second, and Lonely Fans about to fall. It's all up to 00 negative. He's effectively out of this fight, and there's actually maybe found a moment for Lonely Fans to try and recover here. And so Renegades full focus onto Team Pop-Tarts just to their north right now. Both teams really trying to utilize their head glitches here. If they can just scan behind them, they'll note that there is someone inside the cart as Kupski does get bursted here. You'll have to be careful because now Renegades might be the team that gets full sandwiched. You can see Bowser trying to find the angle here, healing up now, getting tagged just for a moment. And it does seem like they do have eyes on them, but 00 negative has worked his way out of the cart now.
Looking for a little bit of that damage as well, not giving up just yet. Should have his squad mate back as well. 2 from Lonely Fans against the 6 from Pop-Tarts and Renegades. And Renegades, they're the ones in the most dangerous position of all. That Arcstar can do a lot of damage to Bowser, but no push coming in just yet. And that G7 Scout still doing so much work. The patience from Renegades and from Pop-Tarts right now is they're even getting flanked from the side. We'll see who can hold out the most. It's a big game of chicken here in this last ring, and Lonely Fans just on 1 negative right now. Playing with the ring for the moment. Not going to get spotted just yet, but Renegades is in an all-out gunfight.
They traded back and forth though. Now Pow still somehow up. Impulsive Dream. We'll see if he can answer back, and he does get the kill. But Lonely Fans.
Lonely Fans from the side.
Of what 00 negative staying alive, keeping his team in it. As you see the full 3v3 play taking place in between Renegades and Team Pop-Tarts. Lonely Fans are able to take advantage and come in for the third party and steal away the victory.
You never count out a squad that you can't see, that you don't have vision on in the last little bit of the game there. Great play from Lonely Fans, great holding it together, and it's that crucial thing that we always talk about there, the patience in the end game. We talked about it with CLG just 2 games ago, and in the last game, who was it? Help me, Jamerson.
The winners from last game, NRG.
NRG, there we go. We talked about it with NRG holding that building right there at the end. It was Lonely Fans that did have that. I'd be surprised if we don't see that come back in the highlight moment, but that's going to be game 3. So as we take a short break, we'll move on to game 4 very shortly. And if this game was any indication, it's going to be a hype one.
And we got 3 games left to go. We're heading into halftime. You don't want to miss it, so don't go anywhere.